This is part 2 of lesson 4-7. We are now going to use the discriminant to determine how many solutions there are to a quadratic equation. The discriminant is just part of the quadratic formula. So in the entire formula, you have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The discriminant is just b squared minus 4ac. So if you look at the value to that part of the equation only, it will tell you how many solutions. So if you find out that the discriminant is positive, the discriminant turns out to be a positive number, there will be 2 real solutions. If the discriminant equals 0, there will be 1 solution, which we saw in one of our problems earlier. And if the discriminant is negative, there will be no real solutions. And the key here is real, because there are still solutions, they're just not real. Okay, so in our first example here, we're going to calculate the discriminant, which is just b squared minus 4ac. So a is negative 2, b is negative 3, c is 5. So b squared will be 9 minus 4 times negative 2 times 5. That gives us a discriminant of 9 plus, because there are 2 negatives, 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 4 is 40, so we get 49. Since 49 is a positive number, that means there will be 2 real solutions. Okay, so you can do the next example. In the bottom example, we have to first put the equation in standard form. So we're going to have to subtract the 6x and the 5, making the equation equal 0. Once it equals 0, then we can calculate the discriminant. So we have 6 squared is 36 minus 4 times 1 times negative 5. 4 times 1 times 5 is 20. Since there are 2 negatives, that'll make it plus 20. So we have 36 plus 20 equals 56. Again, this is positive number, so we get 2 real solutions. Okay, you work out this second example and check your answer later. So here's another example of using quadratic formulas in a real life situation. If you hit a golf ball into the air from 1 inch off the ground with an initial velocity of 85 feet per second, then you will get an equation modeling the path of the golf ball that looks like this. What we want to know is, will the ball reach a height of 110 feet? So H stands for height, so we'll put 110 in for H. And then we're going to begin to solve this equation. So we would subtract 110. So we get negative 16t squared plus 85t. Then we have 1/12 minus 110. I'm going to want this in a decimal form, so I'm going to change 1/12 to a decimal and then subtract 110. That gives me 109.92. Okay, now if I want to know if it's going to reach 110, all I need to know is there a solution? So using the discriminant, I just need to calculate b squared minus 4ac. So we're going to have 85 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 109.92. Okay, calculating that, we get 85 squared is 7225. 4 times 16 times 109.92 is 7034.88. Since there are 3 negatives, that'll be subtraction. 7,225 minus 7,034.88 gives us 190.12. Since this is a positive number, I know I will get 2 real solutions, which means the ball will pass 110 feet on the way up and it will pass it again on the way down, which gives us 2 times when it is 110 feet. So now you try that and check and see if it'll go 115 feet. And when you're done, you can check your solutions, and that's it for lesson 4-7.